Well, G. Galera August Fulcher Rove, can I say first of all how pleased and delighted I am to be here this morning to Ahas Marura Mave and Shaw live anew. I'm really delighted to be here with the Taoiseach. Great to see him here on this historic occasion, with Junior Minister Newton representing Peter Robinson, and of course DRD Minister Conor Murphy and Mick Murphy, the Mayor. It's, I think, an historic occasion. Absolutely wonderful to see the Beach Hill Clog section of this road opened. It's historic insofar as it links the great cities of Belfast and Dublin, where you can now travel from Belfast to Dublin in and around 90 minutes. And I think that that's a wonderful achievement for everybody involved in this project. As many people will know, whenever the institutions were established 3 years ago, we put the development of our economy front and centre, and this road improvement scheme, which has now linked these two great cities, is very much a part of building the economy. Absolutely crucial, and I look forward to an announcement which many people can anticipate shortly, where Peter Robinson and I will announce our agreement to develop the Long Cash site, so something like 300 acres of prime site along the M1, opening up the opportunities that this road will bring for people to consider the opportunities that will exist for them as we move forward. So that's something also, I think, very much to be welcomed. I also think in the day that's in it, the news that comes from the west of the country, where big plans are in place for Omagh, the announcement of the City of Culture for Derry. All of these are good news stories, which I think represents to all of our people the need for all of us to move forward to a better future. And I know that there's still some people who live in the past. Well, they need to take a look at what is happening here today and see people and administrations north and south of the border who are anxious to move forward to develop our economy in the interests of all of the people who live in this island. The opening up of the eastern seaboard is of critical importance. The route from Larne, the development of that road, the A8 from Larne to Belfast, right through to Dublin, and the ability of people to travel as they will be able to do from Belfast to Cork in something like 4 hours, represents phenomenal change in this country. As we came through Newry this morning, I saw a man on a pony and trap, and I said to myself, what greater contrast can you have when you think back that was a mode of transport something like 150 years ago, and what we're seeing today is light years away from all of that. So it's wonderful to be part of this occasion. It's wonderful to see us moving forward in a joined up way throughout the island of Ireland, recognising that our economies are interlinked, recognising that our ports are interlinked, and recognising that our political fortunes and the fortunes of our people are interlinked. So it all makes the case for us to work together ever closer in the interests of all our people, to get mutual benefit and to do it in a way that doesn't compromise the political allegiances of anyone. Gormíle Mayagov.
I'm delighted to welcome here this morning to the constituency of Newry Armagh, although I had this speech prepared in order to be up the road a bit, but I think given they've pushed us over the bridge, I might have been pushed into South Down. But I'm delighted to welcome you all here anyway. I'm certainly delighted to welcome An Taoiseach, the Deputy First Minister, the Junior Minister Robert Newton, MLAs, Mayor of Newry and Mourne Mick Murphy, Barbara de Bruin, our MEP, and all the councillors and other representatives and lesser human beings that are here today. It's a real pleasure to be here as Minister for Regional Development and as the MP and MLA for this area to officially open the new A1 Beach Hill to Clog dual carriageway scheme today. 5 months ahead of schedule and representing an investment of more than £150 billion. The completion of this scheme is of particular importance since it's the final link in the chain connecting our two main cities, Belfast and Dublin, and what is now entirely motorway or dual carriageway standard roads, reducing journey time significantly. All of this will bring substantial benefits to the socio-economic well-being of our communities, the length of the island's eastern seaboard corridor, including Newry, through the port of Warren Point, one of our strategic regional gateways. The project demonstrates my own department's continuing commitment to deliver the required necessary change which reverses decades of underinvestment in balanced regional infrastructure. I understand that some 1.2 million tonnes of rock were excavated to make way for the new motorway, and this was processed on site and used again in the construction of the actual road. Over 2 million hours were successfully worked with 500 staff employed at the peak of the scheme. There's no doubt whatsoever that this capital roads project is a very worthwhile investment by way of creating employment in these tough economic times. It promotes growth and cross-border connectivity in terms of trade on an all-island wide basis. The scale of this project is demonstrated by the many new structures, from a 2.5 pedestrian underpass that connects the football pitches at Carnbean to a 190 metres long viaduct which carries the new dual carriageway across the Newry River, the Newry Canal and the A28 Tandragee Road. I want to put on record my sincere thanks to the local community, landowners and householders, without whose patience and support the project would have not succeeded. In that respect, I also want to thank Newry and Mourne District Council for their support also during the planning and construction of the scheme, and TransLink as well. I'm convinced that the early and sustained involvement of local communities and their representatives have been key. I enjoyed the recent 10k, well rather endured the recent 10k run on the road organised by Newry Marathon Committee, and the family cycle event on the same day, which proved very successful and great fun. My department's road service has been able to assist with the Sticky Fingers Creating Space project, which is about engaging with the young people of Newry to help create a unique piece of public art which will be reflected in the final design of the sculpture to be permanently displayed here and viewed by the 18,000 vehicles daily. So this excellent new dual carriageway will open to live traffic later today, again 5 months ahead of schedule, and it's a real credit to all those participating in the contract. So I congratulate all of you and look forward to travelling, experiencing the All-Ireland benefits. I had hoped that there would be many Armagh fans travelling in that direction this weekend, but unfortunately, even though our minors are playing in Croke Park on Sunday, it will be the Down and Tyrone people who will be travelling. But I look forward to the benefits that this road creates: better connectivity, cross-border cohesion, increased intertrade on a north-south basis now and into the future. Gormila Mayagov Galer. All right. Go ahead.
Well, I'm very proud. This is a long time in coming for the people who live in this area. It'll make a big difference to people who travel in and around Newry. It's a big difference to the eastern seaboard. It's the final connection between the two main cities in the country. And I think that allows for significant economic development, not only of this region, but right along the eastern seaboard generally. And this is part of our commitment to addressing infrastructure imbalance. It's part of a whole package of measures, including the road to Derry, including the road from Belfast to Derry, investment in the railway line as well, which will see this island become a much smaller place, which allows the growth of the All-Ireland economy and which allows Ireland to compete as a country in the global economy.
The All-Ireland economy is a specific focus for Sinn Féin as a political project. What are the benefits of approaching the economic basis of development on an All-Ireland basis?
Well, obviously you have that critical mass of people, and what you needed in order to achieve that is connectivity, and that's why the infrastructure improvements are so necessary. Connecting the eastern seaboard, connecting the northwest down to Dublin, the connections on to Cork, over to Galway, Limerick. The whole island has become more interconnected, and that allows it not only to harmonise the services, the attractiveness, the business between north and south, but also allows it to compete and to sell itself in the global market. And I think this is all very important. I mean, we have a huge duplication of services and administrations north and south, and I think the greater the connection right across the island, the more we allow ourselves to harmonise that and to take full advantage of the economic opportunities that come our way.
Okay. Go over me here, please, everybody. Just here, that's it. Straight. Yep. Straight. There.